Guten Morgen, muchachos. How you doing? Welcome back to Football Digest Daily. My name is Nyash. Hoping you're having a fantastic Monday. Now we are done with the penultimate weekend of the Premier League season. Of course, Matchday that 7 was going down over the weekend. That's exactly what we're here to talk about. Quick recap, all right? Of course, started off on Friday with the two Europa League finalists going into action. I'm talking Spurs and Manchester United. Spurs were away at Aston Villa. Manchester United were away at Stamford Bridge. And as usual, like clockwork, they both got smacked. Yes, Tottenham lost 2-0 against Aston Villa. Manchester United lost 1-0 against Chelsea. Again, underlining the fact that this Europa League final of this year is the weakest of all time. Weakest of all time. For context, Tottenham have lost 21 games out of 37. That is more than half of the games that they have lost. They are stuck at 17th. Manchester United have now lost how many games? Is it 17 in total? I think 17 in total. Manchester United, since the turn of the year, they have not beaten any Premier League side is going to be in the Premier League next season. They have only beaten the teams that have been relegated. I'm talking Leicester City and I think Southampton. Absolutely crazy. Insane. It's just, if you look at when Amorim came up, Amorim was signed by Manchester United. If you extrapolate that to, let's say, him starting the season, Manchester United are getting relegated. I swear down. Manchester United without Bruno Fernandes is a dead club. It's dead. They have nothing going on. But anyway, yeah, they got smacked. I mean, I feel like every time I've come here, I've talked about Manchester United getting beat. And I've talked about Tottenham getting beat. This is me sounding like a broken record right now if I continue talking about Manchester United and Tottenham. So yeah, they got beat. On Saturday, there was only one game. Okay, there was no Premier League game because the FA Cup final was happening. For the first time in a while, we had the final happening before the end of the season. And that was Crystal Palace up against Manchester City. We were all rooting for Crystal Palace to do the thing, to break history, to win their first trophy since 120 years ago. Yes, 120 years ago, Crystal Palace was existing. 120 years ago, Tottenham was not existing. I mean, not Tottenham, Chelsea was not existing. Chelsea had not been founded 120 years ago. Okay, maybe that's the year Chelsea was founded. Yeah, actually, Chelsea was founded 120 years ago. That's the last time Crystal Palace won any trophy. So it was a big deal for them, of course. I told you, Eberechi Eze and Mateta, they're going to do their thing. They did exactly that. Eberechi Eze scored the only goal, of course, of the match. Pre-assist was man like Mateta, held up the ball well, then laid out to Eze Munoz, and then whipped up a good cross and was well connected by Eberechi Eze. 1-0 Crystal Palace, and that was the day. That was the end of the match. Manchester City, they halved and passed, but they could not break down that goddamn bus. Looked like a goddamn 62-seater. Like a double-decker 62-seater. They could not break it down. Absolutely not. So, Crystal Palace, man, for the win. They win their first FA Cup of all time. First cup. First trophy. I mean, of all time. And that's big for them, man. Oliver Glasner. Yo. This is, I think, his first full season because he came in last season. First full season, trophy in the bag. And I can tell you, I kid you not, now the Crystal Palace are going to Europa League. And Oliver Glasner has ever won the Europa League with Eintracht Frankfurt, I think in 2021 or something. So I would not be surprised if by the Crystal Palace, if they do quite well in the Europa League. I would not be surprised. I will not. Oliver Glasner knows that tournament quite well. So, I mean, well done, Crystal Palace, man. Absolutely means Manchester City got trophyless, just like the Arsenal. All those man them were asking me about what will I do if Arsenal ends up trophyless, and so does Manchester. And Manchester City wins the FA Cup, while Newcastle win the Carabao Cup, while I don't know, Manchester United or Spurs win the Europa League, and Liverpool win the title. What will I do if that happens? I am sorry to say, but I guess we'll never know. Yeah, because Manchester City are now trophyless. They don't have a trophy. So, man, absolutely loved it, man. I mean, if you watch that game, you're like, yeah, Crystal Palace look like the more lethal team when they go forward. I mean, they were, of course, holding back. But when they're on the counter-attack, they seem lethal. You get me? And actually, it did come true. So, well done, Crystal Palace, man. That means there was a plethora of games happening on Sunday in the Premier League. The last one, I mean, what games did we had? Brentford against Fulham. And Brentford lost that game, by the way. What else did we have? Let me see. I know Brighton and Liverpool are playing today. Who else do we have at 2 p.m.? There was a game at 2 p.m. Nottingham Forest versus West Ham. Nottingham Forest had to win that game. Yeah, and now the top 5 race is looking kidogo crazy. Also, of course, Arsenal played in 6:30 p.m. At 6:30 p.m., we beat Newcastle 1-0. They had beaten us 3 times this season without us scoring a single goal, so beating them was nice. And they did not have Isak. Yeah, that's how big missing a player can be. And that's just one player. So, yeah, 1-0 to Arsenal. Of course, all but confirms our second slot. I mean, people are thinking we'd bottle the second slot. Yo, come on, man. Really? Come on. Talk about bottling to Nottingham Forest and them, man. And of course, now Arsenal, I think we have how many points? Is it 74? Or is it 71? I think 71, yeah. 71, then there's guys with 66 there. We have, I think, Newcastle, Chelsea. Who else? Newcastle, Chelsea, I think even Nottingham Forest. And then we have Manchester City, who I think they are now 6th or something because they have not played the game. They're playing on Tuesday because they were in the FA Cup. They're playing on Tuesday against Bournemouth. So if they don't win that game, they'll be in trouble. And of course, this now will go down to the last day for the finals, guys. For the other 3 teams, 3, 4, 5, those teams are not yet decided. So we'll know that in the final day. And this is how interesting it is. On the final day, Newcastle go away to Everton. No, I think they host Everton. Manchester City, well, if they beat Bournemouth, I think their top 5 slot is done and dusted. It's absolutely sealed. But on the last day, Manchester City, who do they play in the last day? Holy shit, I don't know. I know for Arsenal we go to Southampton, but we are not having problems here. But the interesting one, Nottingham Forest welcome Chelsea. Oh goddamn! Oh, goddamn! That's gonna be a killer of a match, man. That is do or die for both teams, especially Nottingham Forest. Nothing less than a win will guarantee Nottingham Forest Champions League football next season. For a team that had been that for so long in the season, to not get Champions League football next season would be absolute bottle job. Would be a bottle job. Will be a bottling. So the ball is in their court, goddammit. They have to win this one, and more so because they're playing at home. So Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea is one to watch out for. The last one, I think, for Aston Villa, I think they host Manchester United. Yeah, they go away to Manchester United at Old Trafford, but I mean, you have seen Old Trafford now. This is just another yard. You can make it your yard by just showing up. The man them who actually play there as their home fixture or their home ground, they don't care. They don't do nothing in the league. So Aston Villa might just get 3 points there. And maybe that might just guarantee them, like Champions League football next season. Like imagine the context of Chelsea drawing with Nottingham Forest. I think Aston Villa walks in between there and gets Champions League football. But it's also going to be interesting because by the time those games happen, the Europa League final will have already taken place because they're taking place on Wednesday this week. So, kesho kutwa. Yeah, the day after tomorrow. So, man, it's going to be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to see how this one is going to go down. It's going to be interesting. Also, at the Serie, of course, this is where the drama is going down to the last day. The 2 teams do this weekend. Of course, Napoli has a point over Inter Milan. Inter Milan were playing against Lazio. They drew that game 2-2. Drama galore, bro. Lazio got a penalty to make it 2-2. Inter Milan had gotten a winner to make it 3-3, but turned out he was offside. Absolutely crazy. Same for Napoli. Napoli drew 0-0 with Parma. So I was thinking like Inter Milan are winning against Lazio so that they can go and get like 2 points above. No. This is going down to the wire. The last day, Inter Milan, I think they go away to Como, while Napoli play who? Is it... Who does Napoli play on the last day? A weaker team than Como, I think. Yeah, Cagliari or something. Yeah, so this one's going down to the wire. We'll have to know the winner of the Scudetto next weekend. Of course, in La Liga, it's Ligi Lishaenda, but Barcelona got beat by Villarreal. Real Madrid, of course, they beat... who was this? They beat a team 2-0. I can't recall who the opponent was. Bundesliga, of course. This is interesting. Bayern Munich already won the league. BVB, I think they have confirmed Champions League football. Turns out, RB Leipzig might be getting not Europa League next season, but Conference League next season. Crazy. That means 2 things, or one thing only. Xavi Simons and Benjamin Šeško, they are leaving that club. Yeah, anyway, those guys are not playing the Champions League next season. I'll be actually surprised if Openda does not also leave. Yeah, so it's not looking good, Pale Bundesliga for those teams, man. But also it's looking fantastic. It's also not looking good in Kenya. And this is super insane. Kenya Police, they won 1-0 against Atlanta. And I think that means they now, of their remaining, I think, 3 fixtures, They just need one win and they have sealed the deal. And this is because of two things. One, Sofapaka absolutely battered Tusker. Now, I don't understand how Tusker lost 7-1. 7-1 to Sofapaka. Absolutely criminal for a team that is challenging for the league. Absolutely criminal. I don't get it. No wonder the fans were going crazy after the match. They want to talk to Charles Okere, like for him to tell us what exactly happened here. Like how? Sofapaka, a team that is below us. I'm a Tusker fan. A team that is below us beating us for 7. Criminal, man. Absolutely criminal. If you thought that was a crime, wait until Gor Mahia took to the stage. They drew 0-0 with Morangasil. Morangasil, for context, are 16th in the league. They are among the bottom 3. But Gor Mahia could not beat them. In fact, Gor Mahia have not beaten Morangasil this season. In the earlier fixture, they also drew. And now drawing them with them again 0-0. Crazy, man. Means only one thing for me. I think Kenya Police will bag their first league title. I don't think there's nothing different that is going to happen here. I think they win it. It's crazy, man. So, yeah, neither Tusker nor Gor Mahia wants to win the Kenya Premier League title. So, yeah, Kenya Police will have to walk away with it. And it's looking like that for the next game. So, absolutely insane. Absolutely. I was gobsmacked by the result of Tusker versus Sofapaka. That was 7. Yo, I don't recall the last time Tusker was hit for 7 in a match. So to concede this one, yo, I don't know, throwing the match fixing card, but goddamn, 7. Come on now. Absolutely criminal. Absolutely criminal. Anyway, that's how the cookie crumbled this weekend. Of course, elsewhere, of course, the F1, we had Max Verstappen winning. Crazy. He beat the McLarens. It seems like the Red Bull have found their groove back because that car was rapid, bro. No, he was fast, no lie. Yeah, he was absolutely fast. So, yeah, that's how the cookie crumbled this weekend. I hope you have enjoyed it. Don't forget, we have the penultimate podcast happening this week. Of course, I'll be with my mandem. Of course, we're talking everything, Game Week 37 and everything, Europa League, doing our preview, maybe combined 11 of these two weak-ass teams. And maybe predicting, of course, who's going to be winning it. So, be on the lookout for that. For now, 5,000 subscribers.